Unlike the Super Bowl, the fix is not in on this, so we'll see what happens.
Nope.
Curtis believes the fix was in last night.
There are a lot of guys who have DM'd me since saying if it doesn't work out with John, give her my number.
Send it over there. Yeah.
Even an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Wow.
Jeez, I hope Santo's not listening.
Well,
An ex-boyfriend into your DMs?
Santo knows.
Okay,
I
good.
told him.
Let me just explain something to everybody. What you saw yesterday wasn't that the Chiefs suck and they won. What you saw yesterday was the conclusion of what was best for the NFL. Just like the Lakers winning against the Kings in 2003 in the Western Conference Finals was best for the NBA, just like KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen winning the NBA championship after the worst season in NBA history following the Donaghy disgrace was the best for the NBA. This, after the retirement of Tom Brady, provides the foundation for a decade of the pursuit of the greatest, which is what Tom did with Joe Montana, and it's what Mahomes is going to do with Tom. It's what Belichick did with Lombardi. It's what Reid's going to do with Belichick. The NFL loves this. It used to be the domain of baseball, but the steroid era ruined all those numbers. Now it's the domain of the NFL, and you get everybody invested into what will be this interesting decade where Mahomes now is on the trajectory of Tom Brady and Reid is in shouting distance of Belichick.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think.
Well, you don't agree with the fix being in.
No, I don't agree with the fix being in, but I agree with the NFL loves the outcome.
Do you think that the unconscious bias led to that call being made?
No, because if then it would have been some calls throughout the game, right? There were no real calls throughout the game, and it just happened to be they happened to throw the football on third down, Kansas City. So I don't think there was like this unconscious bias, like, oh, we got to make sure that we give Kansas City the best opportunity.
Mr. Reid, are you sure you don't want to challenge? Sir, you have the ability to challenge. Okay, we're going to go to commercial, give you another 3 minutes.
On which play was that?
The play that actually wasn't overturned, that they allowed him to have literally 5 minutes.
The contact on the, or the
there was a catch. It was a 3rd and 13. It was a 3rd and 13 pass down the right sideline in the fourth quarter.
Is that the one by the Eagles?
The Eagles completed a long pass.
Yeah,
to Dallas Goedert
on the sideline.
On 3rd and 13.
Yeah.
And they went to commercial break. There was a play that there was a flag.
They ran
thrown
a play off, actually.
Right. That there was a flag, and then they somehow were able to go back a play and review it for 15 minutes, only to say that they couldn't overturn it. However, when you go back to the AFC title game, the two third downs before the punt, you had the awful play where the Bengal running towards the goal line, what's Perrine, whatever his name is?
P. Ryan
running towards the goal line, hit 2 yards out of bounds, no flag. Mahomes' final drive hit 2 yards out of bounds, flag. You had the head coach of the opposing team saying rigged on the sideline. And then in this game, none of that would have been worth it for the Chiefs to lose. What's the point? And we saw that. Go back at our group chat when I said that they're definitely going to overturn one of those calls that nobody thought they were going to overturn. The game up and down the field was adjudicated so as to provide the greatest player in the sport the opportunity to win it, and he did.
I mean, I think the NFL probably would have been happy with the outcome being either of those teams won last night. But I do.
That's not the question. What is better serving their needs?
The Chiefs.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the Dallas Goedert catch on the sidelines turned out to be not a catch. The Devontae Smith catch is the other one that he looked like he bobbled a little bit. I just think in this situation here,
you don't make that call on the hold. You just don't. You haven't been calling anything like that all game.
So you think they did it knowingly?
Of course. How do you think refs stay employed in the NBA? You do what is expected. They don't write it down. They're not that dumb. They're relatively litigious. They're not going to say that, hey, make sure you call a penalty on this play. You are aware of what your bosses want. That's why you have the job. That's why you get the Super Bowl assignment.
And the two faces of State Farm are the ones winning?
Right.
So let me get this right.
Writing's on the wall.
So in that moment,
it's actually three faces because Andy Reid has two of them.
Oh.
So let me get this right.
Now that you're beating people in push-up contests.
In that moment, the officials are thinking, okay, if Casey decides to throw the football, because Casey could have ran the football, it's third down, but if they decide to throw the football, here's a great opportunity for us to throw a flag.
Exactly. Yep. That's
And
what I'm saying.
what happens if they run the football? Do they not throw the flag?
Exactly. They don't throw the flag because there's not a ball in the air in the direction of a receiver where he gets grabbed.
It has to be like a far-reaching conspiracy with so many people involved.
It's
But
not.
we've
How
heard it
is-
over and over again.
how is that
Everybody's been
far-
saying it's rigged.
How is that far-reaching?
It's like the moon landing.
Yeah.
Like you have to have so many people involved. Like
Right.
every ref on the field has to be involved in it.
No, they don't.
It has to go throughout the playoffs.
What are you talking about? Every ref on the field has to be involved in it.
Just one of them has to throw the flag.
Yeah.
So why didn't the guy on the other side throw the flag? On the other,
Need to.
When do you ever see a ref on the opposing side of the field throw a
No,
holding call on
I'm
the other
just,
side?
I'm just saying there are a lot of refs. Like there's the back judge. There's
Okay, the first thing that needed to happen was that the player on the Eagles had to hold.
Oh
Okay?
no, the first thing that needed to happen, it had to be a pass play.
Right, but I'm talking exactly. Okay,
Right.
for this play, it's a pass play.
Yep.
3rd and 8 usually is a pass play. I don't know. And the player on the Eagles held, which he admitted to.
Yep.
And then the ref has to call it. And if you go back and look at every play, every drop back, I guarantee you 80% of them, you could find someone holding a receiver.
Right.
So none of those were called. How many defensive holding calls were made yesterday?
0. Up until that point, 0.
0.
Right.
The God in heaven. I mean, can we make it any clearer?
So
So we agree on 80% of the dropbacks, there were defensive holdings.
Right, but why
None
did-
were called until that moment.
Why didn't they call? Okay, so there's no holdings called. It's
Okay, capitulation is good.
No, it's fascinating to me. I think that
You've actually played in a couple Super Bowls.
yeah,
but they didn't make any
was-
halftime adjustments.
I didn't get the what did Aaron?
script?
Yeah, I didn't get the script. So the officials clearly got the script here that makes sure no matter what, we got to do everything in our power to make sure Kansas City wins this football game.
That is incredible. They didn't make a single defensive holding call the entire game until the biggest moment. Mm-hmm. And we agree that there was defensive holding on almost every drop back.
Right.
And you don't understand what I'm saying.
It is back-to-back games where they gave the Chiefs an opportunity once a down had been played to essentially go back
Replay
and get a remake. You know, in this case,
Because the ref screwed up,
It was
by the
giving
way.
Andy Reid time to throw the challenge flag. It is a little bit interesting.
I mean, we go back to the week before, or 2 weeks before. Just watching the game, there is an honest feel that if it's close, it's going to favor them. And guess what? It happened to the Patriots too. Patriots benefited as well. I'm not saying this like a honk. I think Patrick Mahomes is a great player, probably more talented than Brady. And we'll see if he can achieve more than
So
Brady.
then were you on the train, because this is what we used to get all the time, were you on the train that when the Patriots won and Brady won, it was because the officials in the NFL wanted them to win?
No, he was not knocking at that door.
Oh, you weren't knocking at that? Why not?
He might have been on the train, but he was not knocking at the door.
Okay.
All right.